Hi, I'm Joanne, and I really appreciate you joining me here at Crafting with Confidence.
Today I'm going to show you how to crochet one of these attractive baskets, timed so you could give them away at Easter if you wish.
But don't forget to keep at least one for yourself.
The materials you'll need for this project are a skein of size 6 bulky yarn, an 8mm crochet hook, scissors, and a darning needle to tuck in the ends when you're finished. Crocheting this basket will happen in several stages. First, we'll be creating these single crochet rounds in ever-increasing circles to make the bottom of the basket. Then we'll be using this interesting knit stitch to create the sides. And finally, we will finish the top with a reverse single crochet stitch. And if you're not really sure what I'm talking about, don't worry because I'll be guiding you through each step. To create the first circle, I'll start with a slip knot, and then I'll chain 5 stitches. And I'll join the 5th stitch to the first with a slip stitch. Finally, I'll end each round with a chain 1 after the slip stitch. And there's the first circle. For round 2, I'll keep the beginning tail off to the side and I'll make 6 single crochets through the middle of the chained circle. Remember that to make a single crochet, you place the hook through, grab your yarn through once so that you now have 2 stitches on your hook, and then you grab your yarn again and pull it through the 2. Let's try that again. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Once I have my 6 stitches, I'll slip stitch the last one to the first one and we'll end with a chain stitch to start the next round. The challenging part about creating the bottom of this basket is that you have to do a fair bit of counting. However, when we get to the sides, you'll notice that we don't need to do that anymore. Recently, I had some friends over to show them how to make a basket. Most of them were first-time crocheters, and you'll notice they had to really concentrate. Look at this concentration. This is what we call concentration on the crochet. Would you hold yours up, please, Amber? Awesome. That's a nice round. And check out these wonderful results from the evening. Such a variety of different colors. While round 2 had 6 single crochets, in round 3 I'll be placing 2 single crochets in each of the single crochets from round 2. This will result in an increased circle with 12 single crochets. At the end, as always, I'll slip stitch the first and last stitch together and we'll chain 1 to finish the round. It's coming along! For an experienced crocheter, a pattern that looks like this might be easy, but for those who are just starting out, I thought a visual aid would help. So for the remaining bottom rounds, I drew diagrams like this, showing where to do 2 single crochets, leading to a 6-stitch increase in each successive round. Here's the completed round 4 after I've joined the ends together with 18 stitches. Round 5 will have 24 stitches with each 3rd stitch doubled, and this is the result. You're most likely getting the hang of this now. Here are the instructions for round 6, and I love how the various colors are starting to pop out. Only 4 more detailed counting rounds to go. Round 7 is made up of 36 single crochets. Round 8 has 42. Round 9 has 48. And round 10 has 54. We're done counting for now. And that's because I'm going to tie in a little piece of contrasting yarn so I'll know where each round begins. Then I'm going to single crochet around the top of this round one more time without making any increases. After that extra round, you can see the basket shape starting as the edges curl up. And you may think we'll keep going in this fashion, but we're actually going to turn this the other way now, so your marker moves to the outside of the basket. Our next rounds will be made up of knit stitches, which are just single crochets inserted in a different place than the usual. Instead of placing my hook in the V at the top like I normally do, I will insert my hook into the up and down V just to the left and below where I normally stitch. Let's try a few of these. Here are the first few knit stitches completed, and this is what it looks like after I've done several rounds. For the next number of rows, I just get to relax and stitch until my basket is about the height I want it to be. Now that I've completed 7 knit stitch rows, it feels just about right, keeping in mind that I still need to do 2 more rounds to finish off the handles and top.
Which means I need to put my thinking cap on again.
For the second to last row, I'll knit stitch 9, and then skipping the next 9 stitches, I'll chain 13 to create a handle. After that, I'll knit stitch 18 more and then chain another 13 for the second handle. I'll end off the round with 9 more knit stitches. Here I've just completed the 9 knit stitches, and now I'll chain 13. Then I'll count 9 stitches and will knit stitch to the 10th stitch, continuing on to knit stitch 17 more. You can see the first handle and the 18 knit stitches, and now I'll chain 13 again and we'll count 9 and knit stitch into the 10th stitch. Once I've done that, I'll have 9 more knit stitches to finish the round. I've now finished it and will end off with a slip stitch. Just one more round to go, but it is a bit tricky.
Okay, 2 thinking caps for this last bit.
If the last round feels backwards, that's because it is, as we'll be finishing off with the reverse single crochet stitch. As you can see, I'm inserting my hook into the previous top stitch, grabbing the yarn once and pulling it through. So now I have 2 loops on my hook, and then I'll grab the yarn again and pull it through the 2. Notice how I do some pivoting of my crochet hook to make this work. Before you know it, you'll start seeing a nice finished looking edge. When I reach the chain handle, I will continue the reverse single crochets across the top loop in each chained stitch. Here's what it will look like when I'm partway across. And now I've completed the top row on my basket, and I had just enough yarn. I'll now cut the yarn, tie it off, and we'll tuck in the loose ends with my darning needle. And here's the finished basket, ready to be used or given away. Are you hooked on making these yet? Once you've made one of these handy baskets, I'll bet you'll want to make more of them. And there's no end to what you might like to store in them, or perhaps they'd come in handy as Easter gifts. Thanks for joining me today for this crochet project. If you'd like to see some more fun crafts to do, check out my other videos at Crafting with Confidence.